On today's episode of Before the Shift.
My mind is in full control. And let me say that again. When I fast, I love to remind my body that my mind is in full control. I will say there is a very fluid shit that you will take on a fast. You will sit there like, am I okay? You're fine. I didn't want to say it in this video. The Jezebel spirit was touching me and I had to get away. But it does help overall just kind of recalibrate your mind on what you actually need and what's more of a initial craving. Every time I've done it, I've always lost at least 6+ pounds. Always felt so much mental clarity. Always felt so much closer to God, my creator, the universe, my spiritual being in itself. Whatever you are feeling or searching to seek within a fast, you will find. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Before the Shift with Louise Colbert, and this is episode 11. Today we are talking about why I fast, my 3-day fasting experience, my personal benefits for it, and my reason overall as to why I choose to starve myself for 3 days. So first and foremost, before anything else, if you are considering fasting, if you clicked on this video because you are interested in fasting yourself, consult with your personal care doctor. You also want to check if you have enough body composition overall, like enough body fat percentage, all of that to sustain a fast and get all the benefits from it. You also want to know what your body needs in regards to a fast. So I didn't just jump into starving myself for 3 days. I definitely started off fasting back in 2023. Now, I had a lot of experience from my mother. She loved fasting back when I was younger, and just growing up in the house and seeing her do her cayenne, I think it was cayenne pepper, lemon, and water fast. She did that for 7 days. She did that for 3 days. And she just gained so many benefits from that. She was very much a health junkie. And I realized that I'm growing into be a health junkie myself. So I started in 2023, and I started mostly for, multiple reasons, which I'll get into further into this video. But I didn't just go cold turkey with food when I first started. So when I did want to initially get into the health aspects of fasting and what it could do for me, I definitely wanted to cut out all junk food and coffee and all sugary things of that sort. So I started off with a fruits and vegetables fast, where I didn't necessarily cut out food altogether, but if it wasn't a fruit or vegetable, if it did not grow from the earth directly with no processing afterwards, then I can eat it. And I did that for 3 days. And that was actually when I lived with an old roommate of mine when I was transitioning apartments. So I did that initially for the reason to manifest new things into my life, to, of course, get a new apartment for myself. And that worked out amazingly, must I add. So that's something else I'll get into. And then I slowly went into just cutting out food altogether. Now, I am a coffee drinker, so I like ginger ale and I like coffee. I'm not much of a juice drinker. If you see me on a regular basis, I do drink a lot of water, but with a meal, I love ginger ale. And in the mornings, I love my cold brew coffee, and I need my almond milk with my liquid cane sugar and my sweet cold foam on top. Like, I need it. And thinking about that right now is almost making me want to cry. There was a point in time where after that vegetable and fruit fast, I went straight into just water, coffee, and ginger ale for 3 days. And that worked for me. That was pretty beneficial in itself as well. And then later down the line, I think for the whole year of 2023, I think it was 2023, for the whole year of 2023, because that was the year that I went to 2 weddings. I had 2 weddings that I was going to in both September and August. So I was like, I need to get right for those weddings. And in order to get right, I did a fast every month up until those weddings. And after the fruits and vegetables, I think I went straight into water. I was comfortable with doing just water for 3 days straight. And the benefits, I would say, overall have just been amazing. One, you do get rid of a lot of water weight. That is a fact that is very true. And another fact that I've seen a lot, where a lot of questions I got, basically they were like, don't you gain it back after you've lost that weight for 3 days? And not necessarily. If you can maintain it, I'm someone who works out every day, even throughout the fast. I am someone who just keeps up with their diet, not necessarily for health benefits, but I know what to eat for my body. I know what makes me fat. I know the problems that I have when it comes to food, when it comes to sugar. So when I need to cut that out, fasting is just the best way to do that for me. And I just think overall, fasting wouldn't be so well known if it didn't have the benefits that it had in general. So when my mother was doing it growing up and I saw how it benefited her, my mother has amazing skin. She looks so youthful in the face. Like, those are just overall outer benefits that you can gain from fasting and just releasing yourself from the need of food. But there's so many other things. Now, I will state in another video, I may even make a separate podcast in itself on my personal spiritual and religious beliefs, but a lot of people fast to get closer to God. And now I am someone who very much believes in God. I believe in both the universe and God, and some people may argue that. I will save that for another video. We are not going to argue in this video. Just in general, I think for me and my closeness when I started in 2023, I had a much deeper benefit. For one, I knew my attachment to food overall was my main problem going up. I knew that I had an emotional attachment to food. I knew that my lack in emotional gain from people in my community, from people around me, I didn't get, so I got from food. And now I know that's something that a lot of other people can relate with. So I would love to state that in this video as well. I will be authentic as possible. You guys know me. I state nothing but the truth. So that is something that I faced for a very long time. So when that dwindled down to just having health problems and getting my gallbladder removed at the age of 14, I realized that that emotional attachment had to change. Now, I may do another video in regards to my health journey overall, because I did lose 100 pounds. I used to be touching 295. I'm now at a comfortable 220, 225. And when I started this fast in specific, I was 228 when I started the fast. I started on Monday, and then I worked my way all the way up to today, which is Wednesday, with just water and just my morning drink, because I do have a green supplement that I drink. I do take vitamins every day, and I do have a pre-workout that I use before my gym sessions. So some people may see that as cheating. I don't see that as cheating whatsoever, simply because my body definitely needs B12. It needs my D3 every day. And within my greens, I have apple cider vinegar. But I'll talk about all that further down the line, because I have a video that I made when I was making all of those within the morning. So in regards to just getting closer to God, for me, I've always had a close relationship with God. Now, I wouldn't say I'm Christian, but I did grow up, and my mother wasn't even necessarily Christian, but she did take me to church. We went to Times Square Church. It was a very open church in regards to just religions, and we accepted all within that church, and it was a very beautiful experience for me growing up. I haven't been to church in a very long time, and that is something that I will attest to truthfully. But starting this fast in specific, it was on my heart coming into the new year to just get my finances together. One, because I noticed that I was door dashing 3 times a day. I barely ate out all of last year. I barely cooked all of last year. I mostly ate out, and I want to change that this year. So there was a lot of things that were just building up that I wanted to change coming into the new year. Is now most of my close friends know that I do 3-day fast often, and I told you guys that I started in 2023. But coming into this new year, and especially doing this fast now, that was my primary reason for doing it. I wanted to fix my finances. I wanted to get my health back on track. I wanted to fully lock in with the gym. And in order to do that, I'm sorry, you have to lock in with your diet as well. I love to stray away from that, but I was having a heavy sweet tooth towards the end of the year. I was, going to a lot of Christmas and holiday events, and I was eating it as much as I wanted. So the lock-in was definitely needed for the beginning of the year. And that's why I chose to do this fast this time around. Now, I have a very close relationship with God year round. It does not take me a fast to create that bond, but I do think and can benefit too that when you do fast and when you do step away from relying on just worldly needs and just worldly desires and things that you're thinking in your head you may need, and of course it may lead to your body physically, but I think your mind is so much stronger when you could just tap in and really just get in the closeness and within the word. And I do read the Bible. I'm starting to read the Bible this year. Actually, I played my games last year because I said I was, and it was on my vision board, and I did not do it. So this year I'm actually reading the Bible. And I didn't want to say it in this video, but I said I want to be authentic. The Jezebel spirit was touching me, and I had to run away, y'all. I had to get away. And last year I just went through a lot of emotional transitions in my life that forced me to really see that I could be the problem in a lot of situations. And that will be for another video somewhere further down the line. But it did have a lot to do with my Jezebel spirit and my lack of control over my lust. And that is just, I take a lot of accountability for that. But if you could relate, give this video a thumbs up. That's all I can say. I do it a lot to also clear my food palate. I think, like I said, with the sweet tooth, I needed to switch that up and just start craving other things. And I think when you first start your fast, I am on day 3. I actually feel pretty good. Like, I can get through to tomorrow. On day 1 and 2, you are going to feel very tired. I think day 1 is the hardest simply because it's hard to sleep. I think I had a lot of anxious thoughts, and like my body did not want to go to sleep because it was like, you're missing something. Aren't you hungry? Like, it was hard. And then day 2 was kind of just like, all right, let's get to today. Now day 3, I feel great. And I honestly feel like I can wake up and wait till like 12 p.m. to maybe eat my first meal or consume something, simply because I'm off tomorrow. So that works for my schedule. But it does help overall just kind of recalibrate your mind on what you actually need and what's more of a initial craving when you first think about it. And then on top of that, I also think fasting for me also helps just clear my mind. I think when I'm not fully relying on just my coffee in the morning, because I did not drink coffee or ginger ale this time around. Everybody clap, everybody clap. I just started tapping into just keeping my apartment more tidy. Now, you know me, I am a very tidy woman, but I just got home, and rather than thinking of food first, because usually when I get home from work, I'm just thinking about food I want to eat and then just start my night routine, I was thinking about other things. I was thinking about future projects. I was thinking about future things I can get into for the year of 2026. I was thinking, your brain kind of goes a little bit of everywhere. I was writing so many things down. I'll post a picture of my post-it note wall that I have, because it still has my last dates of the 3-day fast that I did. I think was around March of last year. And then it has this fast date. Usually, what I'm trying to say is, you see how my brain goes everywhere. I did not eat for 3 days. Give me grace. On that post-it note wall, I have pictures of what I want to gain throughout this fast and what I want to focus on. And that's usually at the pinnacle of my brain when I first wake up. And that's why I love post-it notes, because it's kind of in my face when I do my morning routine, my night routine. It's just right there to remind me what is the intention behind this fast, why am I doing it, and asking God for all the answers to get there. Amen. And like I said, my attachment to food is different than most. And when I break that within all of my fasts, yes, it's sometimes hard to fall back into that lack. But I think I can also attest to how in 2023, I did fast every year. I was celibate. 2024, I was doing great. I did fast like here and there. I think I did around 6 total, if I can remember. And then the year of 2025, the last year, I only did like 2 fasts. And I only did the fast after a man really pissed me off. And I was like, I need to recalibrate my mind. To stay in touch with my spirit, I love to fast and remind my body that my mind is in full control. And let me say that again. When I fast, I love to remind my body that my mind is in full control. For me, I live, I have no one around me within close proximity 24/7 to be like, oh, you ate that Ritz cracker. I could literally get off this camera right now and go eat something and nobody would know. But for me, it's a personal test to myself. It's a personal battle within myself that nobody else is responsible for but me to fully accomplish and really dive deep and see what happens after that 3 days. You can start off with the 1-day fast. You can start off with intermediate fasting. You can start off with a 2-day fast. Like, don't ever feel inclined to do a whole 3-day, but the power within that 3-day fast, I will tell you, every time I've done it, I've always lost at least 6+ pounds. I've always felt so much mental clarity, and I've always felt so much closer to God, my creator, the universe, my spiritual being in itself. Whatever you are feeling or searching to seek within a fast, you will find. And it's a point really not only to prove to me, but definitely to prove to God. When they say, I will post the Bible scriptures that I looked up in regards to fasting, but a few of the quotes really stuck with me just in regards to fully beating your flesh, not relying on the moral or worldly desires to control you, and really just having God at the forefront of all of it. I think that's what it was for me at the gym. That the level of energy that I get, it's kind of insane. On day two, early in the morning, I was dancing at like 7 a.m. to gospel music just because I had so much energy, and I was kind of shocked, but like, you know, gospel. Sometimes it just moves you. And I love to dance. If you follow me on TikTok, you know I love to dance. So that combined with a lot of energy, and I didn't have my cold brew, was kind of shocking. Day 3 was not the same. I woke up tired. I had to get back in bed after a little bit. It took me a little bit to get ready, but my gym session was still just as good as the last. And that's also something I'm not used to. And it's like, if we go back to history, back in like the Roman days, people was not eating every day. They was at least eating one a day. There was one main meal at night. Like, I swear, this whole 3 meals a day thing that America has normalized for us is not good for the body nor the system. I really put in my notes, our own ancestors relied solely on faith and on when their next meal was going to be. Wait, gratitude in what is, would no matter what. Ooh, gratitude in what is no matter what. That was a good one. And I think, especially in the predicament that I am right now, I am financially and solely dependent on myself. So a lot of things kind of swallowed me under a wave last year, and that was something that I really had to come to terms with. And when you combat that with being a spender or being someone who really doesn't have good control over their money, I'm working on that too. You really have to face yourself and just realize that, okay, if this relates to food, and food is something that I had not only an emotional but a bad attachment to, especially when I'm gymming the way that I am, like, girl, release that attachment. And that's definitely how we should rule life: a consistent gratitude and self-perseverance for life, and just accepting what is no matter what, and no matter what is going to come next, having positive outlook for the positive outcome is such an important aspect of life. And you definitely learn that throughout a fast as well. I learned so much, which is why I feel it's important to get back into journaling as well. I'm gonna journal tonight. Did I journal these last 2 days? I didn't, I'm being honest, but I'm gonna journal tonight. I am. For me, a little bit of TMI. We're gonna get into the TMI portion of this because I know y'all was waiting for this. There will be a shit on either the morning of day 3 or the morning after day 3, or even day 2. I've experienced a day 2 shit that was just otherworldly. It's insane because your body didn't really consume anything. And ever since I've been taking my greens, now different brands of greens cause different shits. This is so TMI. I'm not going to get too much into this, but I will say there is a very fluid shit that you will take on a fast that you're confused you're taking because you didn't really consume anything, but your body is still letting out so many toxins that you will sit there like, am I okay? You're okay. You're fine. And then for females, I will say this first and foremost: do not do a fast on your period. Do not do a fast the week before your period. 2 most important things. I recommend right after your period, like right when it's ending, or like 2 weeks prior to it starting, just so you can be at your full and optimal phase of health. Because I remember I tried to do a fast a week prior to my period, not really realizing I do have a period tracker on my phone just to really stay intact with that, especially for vacations and things like that. But I did not realize, because I don't check it that often, especially if I'm not sexually active, and I didn't see I was gonna get it. And I was on like day 2 of my fast, about to pass out. Like, I was not okay. So ladies, do not recommend that. I also recommend to drink a lot of water, something that I fall off on, but since I'm so into my gym journey, I kind of get dehydrated naturally. So I keep water on me all the time. And if you keep it on you all the time, you're more likely to drink it. So keep water on you all the time and you're more likely to drink it. And tomorrow I'm gonna have a yogurt with 2 granola bars. And I also add to this: when you get off of your fast, if you want to maintain the weight that you lost on the fast, definitely don't just jump into having a big breakfast the next morning. Also, don't feel fully inclined to go the full 3 days. If you want to make that full 3 days or 7 or 8 hours into your day and have a nice light dinner, do that too. I've done that before. Like, don't ever feel inclined to just fully push yourself to its maximum if you don't feel within yourself, spirit, mind, and body that you can do it and sustain it. Trust me, that follows with the whole listening to your body and listening to yourself. Because when that moment when I was about to pass out, I had to look at my period tracker like, girl, you want to kill yourself? Like, you need to eat, especially for females, a week before your period, like a lot of iron too. And I also just think, if you are doing it for religious reasons, definitely tap into God if you are not regularly tapped into him. And for me, it's something on a very personal level that I think I will speak about in another video, but I am in so much gratitude for God and the work that He has done in my life. I can create a whole video of just testimonies alone on what He has done and moved within my life, the way He has protected my family, the way He has done for my family. So, and for me, oh my gosh, I almost feel so like even said in my last video, I felt like really one of the chosen ones. But when you really tap into God on a daily basis and you give gratitude every time you leave your home, every time you leave the doors of your home, please give gratitude to God. Give gratitude to all of the work that He does in your life. Give gratitude to the food, every meal that you eat. I am starving. Give gratitude to every meal, because the way I was thinking about like Fruit Loops and Golden Crust, and my mind is in a better place now. And that's something else that happens on day 3 of your fast, is that for me on day 1 and 2, I was thinking about all these fatty foods. I was thinking about Burger King onion rings. I'm still thinking about them, and I still might eat them. That doesn't mean I'll never eat them again. But on day 3, the way my mind just transitioned to grocery store food, and I just started wanting things that I was more used to. I started wanting, strawberries and whipped cream. I started wanting cereal. I started wanting like a big juicy steak. Like, your mind just starts converting back to what it actually needs over just what it wants, which is what I stated in the beginning of this video. And before I leave, my last fast that I did in March of 2025, I was 228 pounds, and I ended that fast 213 pounds. Now, I will be weighing myself tomorrow morning, which will be day 4 technically of me not eating, but I do plan to eat tomorrow morning. I started this fast on Monday at 228, and I am ending this fast at, I don't know. I'll post it tomorrow when I have the results. I could talk for hours about fasting, but I hope in any way, shape, or form this video helped you and informed you in a way that could help you start your own personal fasting journey, whether that's a day, 2 days, intermediate fasting, which basically means just eating after 1 p.m. in the afternoon, 2 p.m. in the afternoon, or day to night fasting, where you eat really early in the morning and then you don't eat until the sun goes down. Whatever you may believe in, whatever your fasting journey may be, I wish you nothing but the best of luck. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. But I hope this video helped you in any way possible. And thank you for watching if you watched to the end. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye. Ooh, okay. Body tea. Body tea. Y'all see it? You see it? See the abs? Okay, let me leave. I should give you. But I still worked out the same. My mental was the same. I was very drowsy today, but I think if you stay if you stay with your water intake, I can't even talk anymore. End the video. Bye.